To buy what $100 got you in 1970, you'd need more than $800 today. Your money didn't move, but its value quietly shrank by almost 90%. That slow leak has a name: inflation. And once, a single man raised interest rates to nearly 20% to stop it. Here's the whole idea in one sentence. Inflation is when prices across the economy keep rising, so each dollar you hold buys a little less than it did before. Picture your weekly grocery basket. The exact same items, same bread, same eggs, same coffee, slowly cost more every year, even though nothing about them changed. So what's actually happening? A useful way to picture it is a crowded auction. If everyone at the auction suddenly has more cash in their pockets, they bid higher for the same few items, and prices climb. That's inflation in a nutshell. Too much money chasing too few goods. A little of it is normal, and even healthy. But when it runs hot, your savings melt like an ice cube left on the counter. Watch what inflation actually looks like over time. This is the price of the same basket of goods since 1970, and it only ever climbs. By the late 1970s, it wasn't a slow leak anymore, it was a flood. In March of 1980, US inflation hit almost 15% a year, which means prices were on track to double in about 5 years. People's paychecks and savings were falling behind fast. So in walks this scene's real character. In 1979, a 6'7" Fed chairman named Paul Volcker took over America's central bank with one mission: kill inflation. His weapon was the interest rate, the price of borrowing money. He cranked it up and up until it hit about 20%. Borrowing basically froze, spending cooled, and the economy tipped into a painful recession with unemployment near 11%. But it worked. Watch the coral line dive. By 1983, inflation had crashed from nearly 15% all the way back down to about 3%. Let's make this concrete with one simple trick called the rule of 70. You take the number 70 and divide it by the inflation rate, and that tells you roughly how many years until prices double. At Volcker era inflation of 14%, prices double in only about 5 years. At a calm 3%, doubling takes more than 20 years. That gap is exactly why central banks fight to keep inflation low and steady. Now flip it around to your own wallet. Imagine your grandparent hid a $100 bill under the mattress back in 1970 and never touched it. Today, that same bill is still $100, but it only buys about $12 worth of what it could back then. The cash didn't disappear. Inflation quietly ate almost 90% of it. So here's the whole thing in one sentence. Inflation is the steady rise in prices that shrinks what your money can buy, and central banks fight it by raising interest rates to cool the economy down. Paul Volcker proved just how far they'll go, all the way to 20% in a recession, to break it. This is education, not advice, but the takeaway is simple. Cash sitting still slowly loses a race it's not even trying to run. Next time we'll look at the other side of that lever, how the Fed's interest rates ripple into your loans, your savings, and the whole economy. Subscribe so the headlines finally make sense.